Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another episode of Pornstar Confessions. Today I've got Ryan Landers. Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
So, where did the name Ryan Landers come from? That's a very guy next door name.
That's the whole purpose, or the whole point. I'm just the guy next door that you wouldn't think was filming porn in his basement, I guess.
Okay. How did you first get into, we'll just say, sex work?
Well, in about 2004, I started camming on adult FriendFinder. For no other reason than I liked having people watch me jerk off. I think I chatted with someone and they were like, let's cam together. And then I did it and I really liked it. So then that was 20 years ago, right? I've been just camming ever since then. In 2013, Chatterbait came along and I started my account there in February of 2013, I guess. And I just kept camming. I was going to jerk off anyways, so I may as well have people watch me. And for the first several years on Chatterbait, I didn't really engage with my audience or ask for followers, or I was just jerking off. It was all about me. And then I was watching, there's a guy on Chatterbait who is actually the #1 male on Chatterbait. His name is Hardworker TN, and he's a truck driver from Tennessee. And he always put on really hot sex shows on Chatterbait. So I just messaged him out of the blue one day and said that I wanted to do a show with him. So we ended up meeting up in Chicago, and then I showed my face, and his fans really liked me. They liked how I engaged with them. So then I started doing that, and then it just turned into a thing where I got invited to go to expos and things like the AVNs and the Exotica expos with Chatterbait. And then suddenly I was someone people on the internet followed. And during COVID, I had started, I lived in an apartment complex in Minneapolis, and I decided that I was going to put up a glory hole. And the only safe sex at that time, right, was glory hole sex. So I put up a glory hole, made all these arrangements for it, and then had people start coming over, and I was sucking some dick and recording it. And I ran out of space on my phone. So I was like, where am I going to put all these videos? Because I don't want to die and then have my mom find it. So someone suggested that I start an OnlyFans. Actually, I had started the OnlyFans a little bit before that. In November of 2019, I started OnlyFans, but then I started putting those glory hole videos on my OnlyFans page, and people were subscribing to them. And I remember thinking it was weird that I had 10 subscribers. And then it was weird that I had 100 subscribers. And then it was weird that I had it still blows my mind that I have more than 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe that. I can't believe that people would pay to watch me have sex, but I guess it's a thing.
Mm-hmm. So, at the beginning, you said it was FetLife?
Adult FriendFinder.
Yeah, all right. I always get those two confused. So that was not monetized, correct?
No. And it still isn't. I still cam on there.
What?
Yeah, they've just given me a free account, free gold account, because I've been on there for so long. So if I have a lot of followers on there. So if I'm camming on Chatterbait, I just broadcast on both.
So what is Adult Friend Finder for someone who's never used it before? I've heard of it, but I don't know a damn thing about it.
It was the OG sex website. You can post videos and pictures, and you find people in your own area. It's not as big as it was in 2004 now, but back then it seemed like everyone was on Adult Friend Finder. I would randomly run into people that I went to high school with, or like people that I knew, and that was like part of the big turn on for it, was finding people that you knew and like seeing their dick pics or watching them have sex and stuff like that. So
So
yeah,
it,
it still exists. Adultfriendfinder.com.
so it sounds like it's kind of a hybrid of Twitter and Grinder and Tinder and Craigslist all
Yeah,
together.
kind of. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were not showing face though at that time.
No, not, I mean, no. I would send pictures to people, privately, but I didn't post anything publicly.
Okay, so it was just like the head chopped off.
Yeah, just my dick,
Okay. All right.
my butthole, stuff like that.
So what was it about being watched? Like, explain this.
I don't know. People ask me that. I don't know what it is about being watched. Like, I'm really self-conscious about my body. I don't think that I have a big dick or anything, but something about it was hot to me. So I just kept doing it.
Okay, so like if you're masturbating by yourself over here, right? And then you're
Hmm.
masturbating, but people are watching you over here. I'm guessing this
Hmm.
orgasm is going to be significantly strong.
Yeah, I guess I think part of it was watching other people jerk off too on cam. So sometimes those people would also be watching me, but even if they weren't, I like that whole like live dynamic of like it could be your neighbor, it could be Ryan Landers next door, you know. Um, you don't necessarily know who these people are, and they could be right in your neighborhood.
Mm, yeah, actually, that's I've never talked about this with anyone I've interviewed. Okay, explain the live appeal to me, because like for me personally, I've had people who want to pay like obscene amounts of money to watch me jerk off live or watch me film a video live, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
dude, do you realize I'll sell you a video for like 10% of the cost? Like, why does it have to be live?
I actually don't get that, because I get a lot of requests for people who want to jerk off together on Snapchat or something, and I can't do it one on one. I'm not good with that.
Um,
But if it's like 100 people watching, that's different for me. I don't know why. Like the one on one thing is weird for me. It's strange, but the more people watching, the more of a turn on it is. And I don't even care about the tips or monetizing it, um, because at this point, I'm using Chatterbait and Camming as a promotion vehicle for my fan pages, which a lot of people don't do. And I shouldn't say this because then it makes more competition for me. But on Chatterbait, you build like a parasocial relationship with your fans, and they're already spending money. So they're a lot of them I've been friends with, for years, even though we've never met. But they're going to support me in whatever I do. I have about 5 people who have subscribed to my OnlyFans page since I started it in 2019. Every month since then, they've they've subscribed. So I have moderators who actually, one of my moderators I did travel and meet. They're just people who volunteer to like moderate your chat room and kick out spam bots or people with their saying mean things or whatever like that. But you build a relationship with your followers in a way that I don't think that you do on any other platform, and they're more apt to support you in whatever your endeavors are.
okay, but Chatterbait though, someone doesn't, because when I did camming, I just did flirt for free. So like, people would pay to take you into like a private one-on-one. But like Chatterbait,
Hmm.
how do you know you're not going to have just 1,000 people watching you for free and nobody's tipping? Like,
Right. So I don't care about that. If 1,000 people want to watch me for free, that's fine, because I don't post any. it's very rare that I post like a jerk off show on my fan pages. My fan pages are just all like sex. So watch me jerk off for free. It's a turn on. It's a good promotion vehicle for me. And you know, what works for me isn't going to necessarily work for everyone else. There's a lot of people on Chatterbait who do the tip things, and that they'll have like a toy in their butt that vibrates when you tip and stuff like that. I don't do that. Sometimes I'll do like a live show with you know, a porn star or something, and I'll make that a private ticket show that you have to pay for, but that's usually about it.
Oh, okay. So if you don't mind me asking, what were you doing for work throughout this period?
I work from home and do some IT consulting,
Okay,
so I have a lot of free time.
gotcha. So what made you finally decide to show face for the first time? Because that's a pretty substantial jump. Like that's
Um, I decided that, well, it was a big turn on. Like one of the things that I love the most is when I post a new video and someone will be like, "Oh man, that was so hot. That was such a hot video." Like when someone tells me that they love the content that I'm making, and or they can relate it to an experience that they had, that's not only like stroking my ego, but it's also a huge turn on for me. So once I started showing my face, I got an even bigger following. I get every like 100 times during a show, "My gosh, your eyes are so blue. I never realized that my eyes were so blue," and things like that. So um, I think showing your face helps you build that relationship with your fans, and that means they're going to spend more money.
absolutely, but weren't I mean, but once you show your face, like that's it.
There's no coming back from it,
Exactly.
right?
Like
So at that point, I learned. So I actually I should take a step back. So um, when I started going to these events for Chatterbait, like in 2023, I went to the AVN Awards, and at Chatterbait has a booth, and we just a bunch of Chatterbaiters will be there broadcasting. Well, a lot of the guys will dance around in a jock strap or whatever. That's not my thing. I keep my clothes on the whole time, and I just like talk, tell stories, and I started interviewing people, like, you know, pulling them from the crowd. And I would have the most viewers, like 3 to 5,000 people for a whole day, which is crazy to me that people would sit and just watch me talk. But then at the AVNs in 2023, the expo, which is, I always say it's like a home show, uh, uh, home improvement show, but for sex. You know, there's sex toys, there's porn studios, there's content creators, anything sex related is there. So in 2023, they had the gay section in its own area called the Village, and there wasn't a lot of foot traffic. So it was basically me and every gay porn star in a room, and they didn't have anything to do. So they all were interested in what I was doing. So they just came over and I interviewed everyone for 5 days. It was crazy, from like Austin Wolf to Steve Ricks, Sean Xavier, Drew Valentino, Cole Connor, Shishi LaRue. Uh, Everyone who was anyone that was there was on my show, which was crazy. And I made a lot of great friends then. But one thing I learned from becoming friends with those studio porn stars is to be a whore and own it. And once you like own being a whore and not being ashamed of it, it's very, very empowering. Like that, when I made that realization, I told like my family that I was doing this, and um, then I didn't care who found out. I was proud of my work and proud of what I was showing. And a lot of my straight friends, I have more straight friends probably than gay friends, think it's so cool what I'm doing. You know, I was worried about them like not wanting me to be around their kids or something like that, because I was like some, you know, perverted porn star freak. But they think it's awesome. A bunch of the girls that I know who are moms wanted me to make merch, like hoodies with my logo on it, so they could get them. They're like the most supportive group of people. And once I owned it and told people and I'm not ashamed of it, then I guess it's like coming out. You think it's a big deal until you do it, and then you find out nobody really cares. It wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, that's not the case for everyone,
Yeah.
but it's not as big of a deal as you think it's going to be. And that's what it was like coming out as a porn star, I guess.
Wow. Okay. No, I don't think. I think the biggest part though is owning it. Instead
Yeah.
of being like, "Hey, like I do porn," can you kind of keep it on the down low versus, "Yeah, dude, I do porn, so what?" You're gonna get a completely different response based
Yep.
on how you own it, how you word it, how you carry yourself, all that stuff. So,
Yeah. It's also funny when you tell someone who totally doesn't believe it. Like for a long time, I don't think a lot of my friends believed me because they just thought I was a bullshitter. I was telling some story. Yeah, I'm sure you're a porn star, Ryan. Yep. Okay. And then once they figured out that I really was, like, I was nominated for 2 awards this year, Fleshbot Award and a GAVN Award, and I would send Snapchats to people from the award shows, and they're like, "Wow, you really are at a porn award show. What's going on?" Because I'm always like, "Well, don't Google me, because if you Google me, I'm not responsible for what you see. There's no coming back from seeing it. So if you want to see it, I don't care. That's fine. I'll give you a free subscription to my OnlyFans. But just warning you, you're going to see my butthole, and then for the rest of your life, every time we're having a conversation, you're just going to see my butthole," type thing, right? So once people found out that it was real, and yeah, that's me. Super supportive.
wow. Okay. So, how would you identify sexually?
I identify as Ryan.
Okay.
Um, I've I've never come out. I do have a boyfriend of 11 years, and I just brought him home for Christmas one year. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't say, "Oh, this was my boyfriend." Just brought him home. That's how it was. I think people probably always thought I was gay, but I was having sex with girls. I still have sex with girls. I always say, what they say in the Navy, sometimes any port will do. Um, Sometimes I should say a lot of the times when I have sex with a woman, it's because it's in a couple situation and I just want to eat the husband's cum out of her pussy or something like that. So that's what gets me into those situations a lot. But, I I tell gay guys all the time that there's billions of years of evolution that designed this device to perfectly extract cum from your dick, and it's called a vagina. So try it out.
Okay. Wow, you really just wow. I'm impressed. I definitely like the way you went about things because that is almost identical to my story. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, it all goes along with being a whore. If my fans want me to try something, there have been things that I was not comfortable with, but I've tried. Like this whole thing was me trying new things and self discovery and whatever. If I do post a video with a woman, I get a lot of hate for it, which I get. But you don't have to watch that video. I have 650 other videos that you can watch, but most of them, most of the stuff I do with a woman is going to be with another guy
Mhm.
there too. So,
Have you ever had videos with women like that were well received?
um, yeah. So, well, uh, there was this hot guy in my neighborhood who was always
Talk to
mowing
me.
his
Leave her
lawn,
alone.
um, with short shorts on, and for 2 summers I watched him, and I was like, "Oh, look at that hot guy." And then I randomly saw him at a bar where I was at for lunch. And my boyfriend was like, go talk to him, go talk to him. And he had like girls all over him. And I was like, no, he's definitely straight. I'm not going to talk to him. So the next day he showed up like on my Facebook, people you should know. I was like, well, this is a sign. So I looked him up on Instagram, and he had like this shirtless picture of him next to a horse. And it said something like, should I start an OnlyFans? And I was like, come on, I need to contact this guy. So I messaged him, and it turns out he lives like a half a mile from me. So this was a Saturday morning, and he's like, come over and let's talk. So I went over to his house, and he was mowing his lawn in his short shorts. And then we talked, and I ended up hanging out with him for like the whole day. And I was like, well, if you want to make money, to be honest with you, you're going to have to do stuff with guys. And I wasn't just saying that because I wanted to get in his pants. It was because, a hot guy, I mean, some men make money in straight porn, but there's way more money for a hot guy in gay porn than there is straight porn. That's just how it is. And he's like, oh, I'm totally fine with that. I was like, okay. So he came over the next day. We did a chat show on Chatterbait, or a cam show on Chatterbait. And he was like, there's this girl from my gym who would probably do this with us. So he like texted her, and she's like, oh yeah, sure. So she like just came over. I'd never met her. And then we, tag teamed her on cam. And then for like 3 months, I had this girl on my shows with this super hot guy. So, I mean, that he's 23, ripped, neck tattoo, butthole tattoo, tattoos all over his body, just a really hot guy. And I think that's what sold it, because he was there. Okay. If it was just me banging a girl, I'm going to get a lot of viewers, but my core fans probably aren't going to like it.
Gotcha.
Or I shouldn't say that. My core fans will like it because they like my content. There's just going to be those few haters who don't like it. And they're the vocal ones who are going to get my attention, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you deal with haters then? Because I mean, everyone has haters, and I don't think a lot of people understand. Because I'm sure a lot of people watching this video, will look at you and be like, "Oh, Ryan, you're so hot. There's no way he can have haters." It's like, I don't care what you look like, you're gonna have them.
Well, I have a story that I tell often about one of my favorite haters. This was shortly after I started showing my face on Chatterbait. And I would have this guy come into my chat room, and he'd be like, you're fat and ugly, and everyone in this town hates you. Why don't you just kill yourself? And I paid no attention to it because, whatever. People are... I kind of felt bad for the guy. But he kept doing it. And my moderators would block him, and the chat room would get upset about it. And he would just come right back, like spoof his IP address, create a new account. I reported it to Chatterbait. There's nothing they could do because he had a different IP address all the time. So then one day, he just picked the wrong day to fuck with me, I guess. Something he said reminded me of someone that I had blocked on Scruff recently, or a little while back, but I remembered it. So I went through everyone on Scruff that I had blocked, and I was like, oh, this is the guy. This is 100% the guy. So I unblocked him, and for like the next couple of weeks, I drove around town to see like how close he was to me and kind of pinpoint where he lived. And then randomly, I found exactly where he lived, and I found out what his name was. And one of my hobbies is genealogy. I'm a nationally certified genealogist, which is doing family trees. It's a weird hobby, porn and genealogy. But in this case, they worked well together. So I did this guy's family tree. And I found out who his grandma was. And I thought, well, in my life, one of my most influential people was my grandma. So the next time he came into my room, I was like, hey, Max, does your grandma Betty, who lives on blah, blah, blah street in this town in Minnesota, know that you bully people on the internet? And then dead silence. I didn't hear anything from him for like 6 months. And then one day he came back into my room, and it was another one of those days where you just fucked with me on the wrong day. So I had saved all that information. So I called Grandma Betty, and I was like, hello, Mrs. Whatever. You don't know me, and it doesn't matter who I am, but your grandson has been bullying me on the internet, and he's been saying things like that I should kill myself. And my father committed suicide, which that part didn't bother me because I'm okay with all of that. So I just figured if he was bullying me on the internet, he's bullying other people. And if he's saying you should kill yourself, someone might do that, you know? And I wouldn't, if that happened, and I found out about it, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. So I called his grandma and said, he's bullying me on the internet. If he's bullying me, he's bullying other people. And I just thought someone from his family should know. And she said, it was like silence. I didn't know how she was going to react. She said, thank you. I'll take care of it. And I've not heard from him since.
Fuck. Damn. Wow.
And then I haven't had anything that bad, but it'll just be like people who get pissy because they spent $10 to subscribe to your page, and they think that means that they're entitled to have sex with you.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
Stuff like that. And then I'll explain, no. My boyfriend is very supportive of what I do, probably my biggest fan, but we have an agreement that the only people that other people outside of our relationship that I'm having sex with are people that I'm filming with. You know, because there's a testing aspect to that, and the whole consent and all of those things. So I just film with other established content creators for the most part. But if you're a fan and you want to film with me and there's chemistry and mutual attraction, and you have been recently tested and you want to sign a release form or get a verified account on a platform, I'm down. But don't expect that. And then suddenly start like sending me hate messages, you know, like, but really I don't get that much hate from people.
Yeah.
Because they know I'm going to call their grandma.
No, I think that was, I mean, shit, I don't have the time nor the patience to do that, but I mean, yeah, if he's gonna listen to anyone, it's gonna be her.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I probably would have called his mom, but I couldn't find her information. So I thought, grandma, yeah.
yeah, no, fuck, because I have a 22-year-old son. I'm just trying to put myself in her shoes. And if someone had called me, like you, and told me that my son was bullying you, motherfucker, yeah, the hammer would come down instantaneously.
Yeah. Hopefully. I just had an experience this week getting bullied in real life. There's a park in my backyard. This is kind of an embarrassing story and sad, but there's a park in my backyard, and my boyfriend and I were going for a walk. And a little girl who is maybe like 9 or 10, if that, was like, hey, F words. She called us the F word, and then was like, you guys are gay. And then was like, hey, queen. And then was like, look at those F words. And we were just like, what is happening
like
right now?
FAGG, that word?
Yeah. Yeah. So we weren't like offended. We were just shocked that a small child knew that word to call us or could have picked us out of a crowd. So we figured it had to be coming from home. Like her parents or dad or someone pointed us out to them as like the gays in the neighborhood, I guess. Because how would she know? It wasn't like we were running around with pride flags. We're just two dudes walking in our backyard. I mean, not even in our own backyard. And it was actually the third day in a row that she had yelled things to us, but I had headphones in, so I couldn't really hear what she was saying. I did think she said the F word the first day, but so we have a neighborhood Facebook group, and we posted in that saying, "Hey, do you know who this child is?" And it was everyone responded right away that this little girl is a bully.
At
So
that
not only
young?
was she, yeah. So I can I just thought, like, if she's yelling things like this to random adults, what is she doing to kids her own age? And
Jesus.
I kind of feel bad for the little girl because it has to be coming from home.
Yeah.
You know, in 2024, a little girl isn't going to know to call people that. I don't think. Maybe I'm naive for thinking that, but it has to be coming from her parents. But a couple of my neighbors said, we'll take care of it. And I didn't see the girl in the park yesterday. So,
Jesus. Yeah, no, to have the audacity to say that to a grown adult?
yeah,
What the Because
that's why it had to have come from her parents.
yeah, and like you said, if she's saying that to you, what she's saying to her peers is going to be dramatically worse.
Hmm.
Dude.
Unless she thought, I mean, part of me thought, well, maybe she listens to like Trixie Mattel's podcast and thinks that she's being funny. But because she was also like, "Hey, Queens," which wasn't really
Yeah.
derogatory. It was more kind of funny, but like still, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. Dude, yeah,
Now, if she would have known that I was a porn star, or if her parents would have known that, maybe that would have been a different
yeah,
story.
and the thing is, the kids, so you can't say anything back. You can't do anything back.
Right. My boyfriend wanted to go confront her, and I was like, absolutely not. Do not go talk to this child.
No,
It, no.
hell no. No, that's Yeah, no, I don't. And like what you said about the porn thing too, because you had retweeted something I saw, and like this whole idea that porn stars are somehow subhuman or less than everyone else or whatever. And I mean, realistically, you and we're not doing anything different than anyone else. The only difference is there's a camera.
Exactly.
It's the only
Hmm.
difference.
Yeah, we're sharing like the most intimate parts of our lives with people for pleasure. Everyone else is just a prude.
Uh, why? How did we get to that point though? Like, because in the actions are the exact same. It's no different.
Hmm. Yeah. It's like when you compare Europe to America, it's the puritanical, like, prudishness of Americans in a lot of respects. I mean, in some regards, that's what pays our checks, pays our bills, right? That they have to do things in secret. That's why porn is successful. But um, I don't know.
I don't know though. I think porn would always be there no matter how open society was. I don't think you'd ever get rid of it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Because I mean, you
That's
wouldn't have
true.
the internet without porn. I mean, porn is what's funding and pushing virtual reality, and you know,
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. I'm just saying, I guess, in a lot of, um, well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
have you ever felt? Hey, I can't think of a better word. Discriminated against for doing porn?
Um,
Because you said all your personal
well,
relationships, it was always very positively received.
Um, so yes, and only one time, and it actually kind of hurt me. I recently have been seeing a celebrity, I guess, um, and we really liked each other. Had great dates. It was amazing, but he couldn't deal with the fact that I did porn, even though that's how he met me. And I said that I would stop if that's what he wanted, because I really, really liked him. But it was too much for him to like overcome. Like that was always going to be in the back of his mind. So that hurt me, but otherwise, no.
So you would have stopped?
Yeah. There's a lot of times when I think, it's too much work. But yeah, I would have stopped for him.
But okay, I thought you had a boyfriend.
I do.
So explain this then, because I'm lost.
Um, well, we've been together for like 11 years. We have an open relationship. They both knew about each other. Um, my boyfriend wasn't going to stand in the way of me like dating a celebrity, I guess.
Gotcha.
Because we're also like best friends, you
Yeah.
know, in addition to being boyfriends. We don't have jealousy or things like that because, you know, it would be very hard for him to, if he was a jealous person, to let me keep doing this. Because my boyfriend doesn't watch porn. He doesn't know anything about porn. He doesn't really care. The first time I was at the AVNs, I'm like texting him pictures of me with like whoever, Austin Wolf, Christian Wilde, big porn stars. And he's like, I don't know who that is. And then I was on the red carpet and I saw Naomi Smalls from RuPaul's Drag Race out of drag. And I was like, went and told her the story about how I'm here with all these, A-list porn stars. My boyfriend doesn't care or know who they are, but he's going to know who she is. So she's like, oh my God, we have to take a picture. And then he was pissed because I didn't bring him because Naomi Smalls was there.
Gotcha.
He doesn't care or understand. Like, I'm like, I was nominated for a Gay Vienna Award. That's a really big deal for me. Um, and he was like, okay, I don't get it. I was like, it's like the Oscars of porn. He's like, okay, that's great. Congratulations.
Wow. So would you say he's supportive of your job?
Oh yeah, very much. He watches all of my content. He's very supportive. I actually kind of want him to be my manager, but I don't think he'll be that good at it
Why?
because he doesn't care enough about, he doesn't know, like for example, if he was running my Twitter, he wouldn't know, like if like you messaged me and asked me to be on your podcast, he wouldn't know who you were.
Um,
Or someone retweeted something or commented on my post, he wouldn't know who that is. You kind of have to have a background in the industry,
gotcha.
and he doesn't care about that.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. So how did he take the whole you getting into porn thing? Because jerking off facelessly on, adult friend finder and now it's completely
So for a
different.
long time, we actually jerked off together on Chatterbait. He was just behind me, like off to the side, off camera. So we were watching the same cams and getting off to the same stuff, but I was the only one that the camera saw.
Oh,
And we still do that frequently. But so he's like into the same kinds of things. He just doesn't want people watching him. And um, I think I filmed, like, he thought the glory hole videos and stuff were hot. And I had filmed a couple other things prior to that, but I didn't post them anywhere. They were just like for us. And he thought that they were really hot. So I told him I was going to start doing some more stuff. And um, I had been posting some clips and things on Tumblr and Twitter. And then he just liked what I was doing. So he was supportive the whole time.
Oh. And did he have any reservations? Like, what if people recognize you?
Well,
What if?
so the only thing he was worried about was his family finding out. And I never told them just because they didn't need to know. His mom was going through cancer, and it was just something that she didn't need on her plate. But then someone mailed his entire family letters with pictures of my OnlyFans. So, including his 87-year-old grandparents. Most of the letters we intercepted. So his mom was really the only one who got a letter and was upset about it. She was the first one to receive a letter. And it took her a long time to, she was more, because we live in a small town, so she was more concerned about how people were going to react to her. And I was like, listen, bitch, this is not about you. You should be more concerned that someone was attacking and like trying to blackmail your son than how this makes you look, because nobody cares. I was like, think about one of your best friends. What if one of your best friends told you that her son-in-law did porn? Is it going to make you think any less of your friend? No, because she has no control over that. And I've done a lot of nice things for people with the money that I made. Like I recently paid for hearing aids for an uncle of mine who couldn't afford them. I always give in my hometown, which is a small town. I have adopted like single moms on Christmas and give them a lot of money to buy things for their kids. So when she found out those kind of things, she was more okay with it. And this happened shortly before the AVNs this year. So I was at the AVNs and I had sent her like just like a good morning message or something and saying that I was going to the expo. And I was at breakfast with Joel Someone and Austin Wolf and Austin's husband, and someone else was there. I don't remember. But anyways, she wrote me back and said that she was so proud of me for being nominated for an award. And she wishes she could be there with me, and she's trying really hard to like accept this, and she's going to be 100% supportive. And I read that to everyone, and they were like crying. They were like, that's the nicest, most touching thing. And then I was like, wouldn't it be great if next year we had like some moms come and present an award at the GAVNs? That would be the coolest thing. So that's an idea that's getting tossed around now, all because of her.
Wow. I actually love that idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. And because there were some people like Dylan Diaz brought his mom, and she walked on the red carpet with him, which was so cool. And my boyfriend's mom, that whole AVN experience, the first time I was there, I was like, I wish that she was here with me, because she would think this was so cool. Even though she doesn't know who these people are, she could be like wearing a fancy dress and walking on the red carpet. When is she ever going to get that kind of experience? Because it really is like a real red carpet experience with people taking your pictures and you getting interviewed, and it's cool. And I just thought that she would love that. So I really want her to go with me next year. If I get nominated, I'll probably just go anyways. But yeah, I would like to take her so she could experience that, because nobody in my real life understands or knows what Ryan Lander's life is like. You know, because I don't do studio porn. I don't really want to, but I'm kind of involved in that studio porn world where a lot of people that I talk to on a weekly basis are studio porn stars, or I just kind of want to share that with people who are important to me, because they don't get it.
That's cool. I like that.
I'm taking a straight friend of mine who lives in Chicago to the Grabby Awards next week, just so he can experience what what it's like, you know.
Cool. I like that. I don't know. It seems like you have a very healthy perspective about all of this. Like you
I try
seem to be
to,
very, very
because
grounded.
I want it to be fun and I don't want it to seem like a job. Sometimes it does seem like a job. Um, like you want to be big and make a name for yourself, but that means there's more work.
Mhm.
Um, you know, you have to keep up with posting on Twitter every day and blah, 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 and stuff like that. Sometimes you just need to take a couple week break from it, like a mental health break, just for no other reason than just to step away from it.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you still have your day job?
I do.
Oh, so you do both.
Hmm.
Wow.
And I've never met anyone that I work with, so they don't know what I look like.
Really?
Yeah, I work 100% remote, so
But you guys don't have like meetings on Zoom or anything?
no. And the picture I have on my profile is not. It's like a childhood picture for a joke.
What the fuck? So no one you work with knows what you look like. That is
Correct. And they don't even know where I live. I've never told them because I've moved to a different state since I started that job. So
wow. Okay, that's
I like it.
n-
It's nice not having to worry about work friendships.
okay. So how do you have time for both though?
Well, I'm really good at my day job. So that allows me time to get my projects and stuff done. And then I'll have time um, like for example, I have like a 2 hour long conference call or something that I don't really need to pay attention to. I just have to be on it. So I'll just have my headset on and do a cam show. So I'm like jerking off while I'm on this conference call or something. Or I can edit a video while I'm in a conference call, you know, things like that. I try to multitask as much as possible,
Okay.
but I still do a kick ass job at my day job. So there's not going to be a performance issue with things clashing or me not getting my work done. So,
Okay. So I'm curious, did you guys ever find out who sent the letters?
um, based on who got the letters and the wording, we're pretty sure that we know who it was, and it was an inside job within his family. Because, like, the letters were mailed from a different state where this person happened to be flying out of on a trip, and the the letters were more of an attack on my boyfriend than they were on me. I was just collateral damage in it. But there is a really funny part to this story. Um, so my boyfriend's 87-year-old grandparents I'm very close to. They're hilarious. They should have their own reality show because all they do is argue and bicker. And I play pranks on them all the time. And I, like, if I take a picture of his grandma, I'll like give her bangs or like some weird haircut or something because they don't understand any technology. So we didn't think that they would get letters. The mom got her letter, she opened it, and then an aunt got a letter. She opened it, she didn't care. She was like, I don't give a fuck. Do what you want. So then he started going around to the rest of his family and got the letters before they were able to open them. But he didn't think that someone would send them to his grandparents. So he goes to his grandparents' house and they have the letters with all these pictures of like, it's funny because the pictures that the grandparents sent were from their cabin, like their lake house. And they were old. They were from like 2016. And it was one time I was there by myself and my boyfriend jokingly said, take some sexy pictures and send them to me. So I took the dirtiest possible pictures that I could find. Like there's one where I'm sitting on the dock with like my legs behind my head and my butt cheeks spread. It's just like just of my asshole, right? and then a bunch of other ones. So he goes to their house and they have all of the pictures spread out on their dining room table, and they're looking at them with magnifying glasses because they thought it was a prank I was playing on them, and they were looking for clues in the background. And the pictures were old, so there was things in the background that weren't there anymore. Like there was this little tree house that they used to use when they were kids, that the tree is gone, the tree house isn't there. That was one thing that they were like, oh yeah, this is totally fake. So they thought that I had sent AI, artificial intelligence, or AI generated pictures to them for a prank. They still think it's a prank.
Oh my God, I can just picture that in my head, like this elderly couple with magnifying glasses looking.
Yep.
Okay, that is pretty funny. Okay. So in the end, it all worked out essentially.
It did. And, you know, when my boyfriend got that call from his mom being like, I just got a letter in the mail, blah, 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 I didn't feel dread immediately. I actually felt relief. I was just like, I don't care. And it wasn't like I was hiding anything from them. It was just like it was something that was never going to come up in conversation. His mom, one thing she said to me was like, when do you do all this? And I was like, well, I go on work trips, which I do. So a lot of times I'm on a work trip filming content. Or if I go on a trip for the purpose of filming content, that's still my job, you know? So going on a work trip or visiting friends isn't lying to you. I'm just not telling you that I'm fucking people and recording it, you know? So there was never any lying or covering up of anything. It just was something she didn't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted her to focus on her cancer recovery and all of that. So, but it all worked out. And it gave us a funny story to tell about the grandparents.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I mean, going back to what we were previously saying, I mean, as far as doing porn versus not doing porn, I don't see the difference between you going on a work trip and doing what you're doing versus if you were going on a work trip and just hooking up with some random guys. The
Right.
only difference is a
Right.
camera present. That's it.
Yeah. But his mom is old school, like only has had sex with the father of her children, has never watched porn. You know, she doesn't get
Yeah.
that. She doesn't get the gay dynamic of relationships where you can have an open relationship and it be healthy. And she doesn't understand the men's perspective of sex because it's very like taboo things they don't talk about in their house.
Yeah. So do you think you'll ever get married?
Um, maybe. I Having a party sounds fun, but I don't know about getting married.
How old are you now?
The oldest I've ever been.
Oh God. You're really not gonna answer that? Okay.
I'm 47.
What?
I'm 47, and people don't ever believe that I'm 47, so I just don't say that I'm 47.
Motherfucker, I'm 41 and I look older than you. So either I look old as shit or you look young as shit. One of the two. Okay.
I look young, I think. It's from all the cum on my face.
Okay. All right. Is there like an expiration to doing porn?
Um, I don't know yet, but I'll know when it's time, I think.
So you think you'll just wake up one day and be like, okay, it's time. Been there, done that?
Yeah, like the whole thing with the guy I was seeing, um, it wasn't a hard decision for me to say, yeah, I can stop doing this. I've accomplished way more than I ever thought that I would. I mean, I didn't set out to accomplish anything to begin with. Um, I've made like amazing connections and amazing friends in the industry. Um, which are really, when I step back and look at Ryan's life, it's really kind of crazy, remarkable, the opportunities that I've been given, because there's a lot of people who bust their ass doing this, and I just happen to like fall into the right place and be in the right place at the right time and make like amazing connections with people in the industry. Um, so we'll see. I have a big collab coming up that I've been waiting for a long time. um, so maybe after that, I'll be ruined and I won't be able to have sex
Who's
anymore.
the collab with?
I don't know. Sir Peter.
Okay.
We met in Las Vegas at the AVNs and kind of hit it off. And then we're seeing each other next week in Chicago.
Wow. Okay. So would you say all in all porn has had a positive experience on your life?
Yeah, it's given me, because I'm just a regular dude. I don't have like a ripped gym body. Have a dad bod. Like, I never wanted to take my shirt off at the beach or like, stuff like that. Now I don't care. I mow the lawn every day with my shirt off.
Okay. So
So it's given me a lot more self-esteem, a lot of confidence in myself. Um, it's, um, I guess, taught me to market myself better. Like, even in my day job, I'm going through some changes there where I need to um, move into different areas, and I've learned to market myself in that regard better. Um, I've learned social media a lot better. Um, I always have been very shy, and that is something I've really had to overcome. When I go to events, it takes me like a little bit to get into Ryan's head
mhm.
from my real life and not be as shy, because I just am socially awkward in a lot of situations. But now I'm not all the time, and I can kind of translate that to my real life. So it's helped me in a lot of those ways too.
Okay. So I want to go back to what you were saying about your body because I think that's something the majority of people that are watching this video can, uh, I guess, say they struggle with is,
Hmm.
looking in the mirror, not being happy with the way they look, or, they'll compare their body to this person or that person on Instagram, and you can sit in that self-destructive loop until the end of fucking time. So
Yep.
my question for you is, what was your journey like? Because obviously the porn helped, but there's got to be way more to it than that. Like, how did you get to a point where you're just like, you know what? This is me. This is my body. We're good.
It was just like getting compliments. It Even though I didn't feel comfortable with it, people liked what I was showing. And that made me realize that I shouldn't care, because, enough people are subscribing and watching my shows that, I must have something to offer. And I realized that, like, I can't compare myself to other people, and they can't compare themselves to me. We all have something different to offer. That's why we all have different sets of fan bases, and we all do different things. So I guess it's like when you realize you're a whore, you just got to own it. Own what you got. I had, I was asked to do some studio porn, um, by someone who met me at the AVNs in 2023 and said that they've been following me, and said that they really wanted me to to they really wanted to work with me. And I said, well, I feel like I need to get in better shape and stuff like that. And he goes, no, do not change anything about your body. Don't change anything about you. What you have is perfect. That's your biggest selling point. And I was like, I guess it is.
Wow. I like that.
I'm like, because the guy that lives next door isn't going to look like Cole Connor, for example. I don't know, some muscular porn star. It's just going to be a regular guy, right? Or look like you. I mean, come on. My neighbors would be terrified of you.
No, I get that. Like, no, I think it makes you more relatable, more real. You know,
Yeah. Yep.
it's yeah. No, I like that, and I've definitely noticed like if you know Seattle Dad, you
Yeah.
guys look pretty fucking similar.
People tell me all the time. I get it at least once a week that I should collab with him, and I've tried to message him, but he hasn't responded to me. And that's probably just because he gets thousands of messages. I don't take that personally if I reach out to someone who has a huge following and they don't get back to me. There's some people I know him that I could get a message to him if I'm going to Seattle. But yeah, that's another nice thing about meeting people in the industry is there's always someone you can call to get in touch with someone else that you want to work with.
Yeah, no, I was
So,
just about to say if you want me to message Seattle Dad for you, I'm happy to.
okay.
You're absolutely
You
right.
can do that if you want.
Okay.
I mean, I try to get in touch with people on my own because I don't want it to be like, oh, so and so wants me to hook up with or film with this guy, so I'll do it because they asked.
So,
I want it to be on my own, but you can because I've tried.
okay, yeah, no, I'll remind me afterwards. I'll message him.
Okay,
Yeah, no, it's okay. So, who is Ryan outside of work, outside of porn? Like, what do you like in real life, I guess?
I kind of think I'm the same person, just a little more reserved, but I probably am not the same person. Um, I'm getting old now, so I'm not as wild as I was in my younger days. Um, in my personal life, but I think that I live vicariously through Ryan in my personal life. I get the excitement of the things I need in real life through Ryan. So I've become more of a homebody and work on my yard and plant flowers and things like that and mow my lawn with my shirt off. Um, and just hang out with my friends and enjoy the time that I have. In real life, I don't really do anything that exciting anymore. I used to have a pretty crazy, wild and crazy life. Um, but now I leave that for Ryan.
Okay. So, you would say you're pretty introverted and just low key.
Yeah, I'm turning into an introvert. Yeah, it's kind of been a hard adjustment, but I went from living in the city to living in a small town. I used to go to a lot of concerts. My record was 89 concerts in one year. I used to live in Denver. I went to 47 Red Rocks concerts the time that I
Jeez.
lived there. Um, all kinds of live music. Um, yeah, traveled a lot, did a lot of fun stuff with my friends in my younger days, but now I'm just an old man.
So now exciting for you is dinner in and Netflix with a boyfriend or something like that.
Yeah, kind of. I don't really, because we live in a small town, the gays here are kind of mean to me on Grindr and stuff. Like my profile gets reported all
Oh,
the time. And
Jesus
I hear like it has to be jealousy. I don't know what it is because I've not met people. I hear stories like someone recently said how their friend hooked up with me and they're like so sick now because I gave them all these diseases. And I was like, okay, well, you obviously don't know how STDs work because you don't get so sick from them. And I'm getting tested at least once a month. And if I'm like actively filming, it's like every 2 weeks. And the people I'm filming with are also getting tested. So I'm probably the safest person in this whole part of the state that you could have sex with. So you're fucking nuts. Block. Um, stuff like that. But I recently did meet a person named Wisconsin Tiff, who is a girl, Pornstar, who has a huge following. She lives like 3 miles away from me. And we've been hanging out. She's obsessed with gay guys. She wants to film a scene where like a bunch of gay porn stars gangbang her and stuff. So we've been hanging out and having a lot of fun. We'll probably do some collabs in the future, but she's kind of wild. And I think maybe she'll help bring out some more wildness in me.
Okay, that actually, uh, one of my female subscribers actually asked me that very question yesterday. Because there's gay for pay, but is there straight for
But there's a
pay?
lot of gay porn stars having sex with women lately.
Yeah,
I've noticed that's
yeah.
a thing.
Derek Cage has.
Yeah, Derek Cage.
Um, I've been accused of that a few times.
But I mean, I'm very similar to Derek in how we think about our sexuality.
Yeah.
There's some people who are gay and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't understand fluidity and sexuality or anything like that. Derek and I think a lot along the same lines. Derek is a wonderful guy, by the way. I hung out with him a lot at the AVNs this year.
Yeah.
He's someone I look up to. But yeah, I noticed like on Twitter, I just see a lot of gay guys having sex with women. Like Drake Vaughn was banging some girl recently,
Gavin
which is
Strong has
fine.
done it quite a few times.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bunch. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. I told Cole Connor that this girl wants him to fuck her, and he was like, okay, let's do it. He watches straight porn. I watch straight porn a lot too, so.
Yeah, no.
Mostly for the guys.
Yeah, no. A lot of gay men watch straight porn, like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of straight women watch gay porn.
Yeah. I used to have sex with this girl like that I met on Adult FriendFinder in like 2004, and she loved watching two guys together. So she would like meet guys and set up like a 3-way, like I was her boyfriend, and we would be doing like messing around, the three of us, but it was just like us pleasing her, and then she'd be like, it would be so hot if you guys like messed around and I'll just sit here and play with my pussy. And every single time the guy was like, okay. This other straight guy like would let me suck his dick while she like played with her pussy.
Wow.
Every time. We probably did it 25 times.
Wow. Okay. So this wasn't a once or twice thing.
Right. She even ended up marrying one of the guys.
Wait, what?
One of the guys that we had a 3-way with, she married. And I think him and I actually fucked, if I remember correctly.
Okay. That's one way to start a relationship.
Well, I mean, she was into that, so.
Okay. That makes sense.
I always say if straight guys just got the word gay out of their head, we would all be having so much more fun. Like if my super gay boyfriend fucks a girl, that doesn't make him straight. Just like if I suck a straight guy's dick, that doesn't make him gay. He just doesn't magically turn gay, It just makes him a lot more fun.
Yeah, and I mean, there's like one thing that no one can dispute is the male G spot is in the anus. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you can't argue with anatomy.
Yep. They got to try it out. They won't stop.
Okay.
But, they're so worried if someone touches my butthole, then I'm going to be gay.
Okay. So, is there anything you haven't filmed yet that you still want to do in porn?
I do want to get DP'd.
Oh, dear God.
But it's hard to find. You got to find the right dicks. You got to have a cameraman. Not anyone can pull off. I mean, I can pull off taking it. Not everyone can pull off being the tops in that situation. You have to have the right dicks, the right curve. I haven't had those two in the same situation or the same place to film it
That
yet.
sounds like a Vice script.
I mean, this is what I use for practice on my cam shows.
Okay.
It's 13 by 9. I have DP'd someone before. I've been on top in that situation and with women, which is amazing. But I want to try it.
Like with the woman, are we talking two in
I
two
also
holes or two
like
in one hole?
would want to have like, yeah, like double vaginal penetration or like one in the pussy, one in the ass. They're both sensations that you can't replicate. It's amazing. Like your dick rubbing against another dick inside of a vagina and you come at the same time and you can feel the cum coming out of his dick like as it pulses. It's so fucking hot.
I would just be worried about it fitting.
You got to find the right girl.
Dear God. Okay. All right. So
I also would like to just. I also wasn't a bottom really until I started doing porn. Then I realized that I'm a better bottom on camera, I think.
why?
And then after I had COVID, I found that it was hard to fuck. I can't fuck like I used to. It's really hard for me to catch my breath when I'm fucking. Not in other situations, only when I'm having sex. And I don't know if it's in my head at this point or what. I mean, I still fuck, can still top. But I found that I'm a much better bottom. So now I'm like a power bottom. I want to have like 10 hot porn stars just with huge dicks just like use me for a night, for a scene. I think that would be hot.
But to be a good bottom, you have to know how to breathe. So is your breathing different when you're topping?
Yeah, I think it is anyways. I think.
Well, sorry, let me rephrase. If you don't know how to bottom, I could see how you could be screwing up your breathing when you're topping. But since you know how to bottom so well, I would assume you know how to like breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. You can control your breaths. So I
Yeah.
would think that that would
But
make you a better top.
I think bottoming is more about breathing to relax
Okay.
than it is when you're topping because you want to, you know, be the pile driver.
Yeah.
So you're not breathing to relax. But that's good advice. I'm going to try that to focus on my breathing instead of having anxiety about my breathing.
Yeah.
Because it might just be anxiety because it happened once. So now I'm like worried. And then there's a camera on and, you know.
That's what editing's for, dude. Just take out the shitty parts.
Well, I know. I use 5 cameras in my shots. I waste too much time editing. Because I don't have a cameraman, so I have 5 cameras around the room. And then I edit it all together.
You are the only other person other than me who I've ever known that does that.
Yeah. A lot of people like won't use a stationary camera.
No.
They have to have a cameraman.
Yeah, but even people that use a stationary camera, they'll use 1 or 2. I've never once talked to anyone else who's used 5. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's why we're good.
Okay.
I want to get all the good shots. Like it's hard to get like a penetration shot sometimes, but if you have a camera above, you can get that. You can see, because you know in porn there's a lot of fake fucking, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. I want you to see, even if it's not, you know, a top down shot, I want you to see that his dick is going in me or my dick is going in him. Yeah. So from like a top shot, you can get that, or from the side. So I just put like 5 cameras around the bed, and then I have one like main camera for most of the stuff, but then throw some other things in. It makes, well, editing has gotten a lot easier. I just do it on my iPad with an app called LumaFusion where you just drag all the clips in and it synchronizes the audio. So you don't have to synchronize the audio tracks anymore. It does it automatically, and then you can just, it's a storyboard. You just drag and click which scenes you want. You can see all the views at once.
What?
It, it used to take me at least a day and a half to edit like a 30-minute video. And now I can do it in an hour.
Let me write this down. What's the name of the app?
LumaFusion.
LUMA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just curious, what cameras do you use?
iPhones.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I have some other cameras, but I'm colorblind, so it's hard for me to match the colors. So, like, I have a fancy video camera and like a mirrorless camera, but they don't, the video doesn't turn out the same way. It probably turns out better, but to me, it doesn't look as good as it does on an iPhone. And I mean, nobody's watching my content in 4K on an 80-inch TV. I mean, some people might. It will look good, but that's what my goal is, because I preview everything on my big 4K OLED TV, but everyone's watching it on their phones in a small screen or on a computer.
No.
You can't upload 4K to OnlyFans anyways, but at least I don't think you
Now
can.
you can. They actually
You
removed.
can.
Yeah, I remember the size restriction. I had to downgrade it a long time ago. But now OnlyFans, I've uploaded 60 gig videos. So
Yeah,
it's gone
me
now.
too. But I thought they were all in, because I have some videos that are well over an hour long, but I've had to make them in 1080p. But I'll try to do a 4K video and see if it
Yeah.
works.
No, it used to not be, but now you can. So,
Okay, good to know.
all right. So, any hobbies, interests, anything that makes you unique?
Other than like genealogy stalking um, my haters, um, I used to go to a lot of concerts. I live in like rural Wisconsin, so I spend a lot of time outdoors. We have a place in northern Wisconsin that's a private lake in the middle of nowhere with no cell phone service or internet service. Our direct TV doesn't even really work most of the time. So I spend a lot of time there in the summer, cut off from the whole world, and it's great. I would love to film some scenes there. Um, but who can you get to come up to northern Wisconsin for a weekend with cut off from the outside world? Um, that's pretty much it. I'm
Oh,
kind of boring.
I like that. All right. So, if you could have sex in only two positions for the rest of your life, what would they be and why? Just two.
Um, well, I'm really flexible. So if I'm bottoming, I like to put my legs like behind my head and get fucked. That's comfortable for me for some reason. And I filmed a scene with Killian Knox where I was riding him and I leaned backwards and did like a back bend while he fucked me, and his dick hit all the right spots. Like, it was mind blowing. So I love that position. I don't do it all the time because I don't want it to be like, oh, he's going to do that again in my videos. Like, oh, there's Ryan in a Marriott hotel room doing the back bend, getting fucked again. So I try to save it for special occasions, but I love that position.
Okay. So, basically, riding and missionary.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I do like doggy style too. Yeah, I'll just go with riding and
Yeah,
missionary.
no, doggy can't compare to those two. My humble opinion, it can't.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right. So, last question is, if you had to summarize your entire life, everything you've done, seen, heard, into one piece of advice, For the people watching, what would it be?
So when I was in 4th grade, I was upset about something, and I was talking to my grandfather, and he looked at me and said, "Don't sweat the petty things, pet the sweaty things." And I was like, "What?" Like, I didn't get that because I was in 4th grade, right? But then I remembered that he said that to me, and then I, figured it out eventually. And I thought it was hilarious that he would say that to a kid, but it was like the most poignant piece of advice that I've ever received, because if I get upset about something, I just think about him saying that to me, and it makes me laugh because it's ridiculous, and that's just how he was. But then I also try to live by that. Like, you know, nothing really matters that much.
I like that. Okay. So, for anyone who's watching this who's not familiar with your content, where can they find you on social media, OnlyFans, Just for Fans, anything and everything? Oh, and you also have a merch store too. So, everything you want to plug.
I do, for the girls. Well, my website is ryanlandersxxx.com, and that has the links to everything. But my OnlyFans, Just for Fans, and For My Fans is also Ryan Landers XXX. My Twitter is Ryan Landers XXX, and my Instagram is Ryan Landers X, and Chatterbait is just Ryan Landers. So chatterbait.com/Ryan Landers, all one word.
Okay. And how would you, like, if someone isn't familiar with your content and they're thinking about subscribing to you, how would you summarize or characterize like what they would see on your OnlyFans?
Well, it's all bareback fucking for the most part, or just like some random dick sucking. But I put a lot of thought and effort into my content. I don't want it to look like studio porn, but I don't want it to look shitty. So, like, the lighting is good, the camera work is good. I am thoughtful in my editing. I try to be thematic in my scenes, or like how I set something up. That's not always successful because there's only so many things you can do. But you're getting a quality product, because I won't post something that I'm not proud of. I have like probably 25 videos that I've shot, and I just wasn't feeling it, so I won't even post them. But that's a compliment that I get, is that people can tell that I care about my finished product. I'm not just posting like a 30-second shower jerk off video. I try to post twice a week. It's always at least once a week for the most part. 20 to 30 minute, sometimes 45 or an hour full scene.
Okay.
I don't split them up like, here's on Monday the blowjob part, on Tuesday is something else. It's the whole thing all in one post.
I would,
and I don't have any pay-per-view. If you message me on there, it's really me. It's not a bot. I don't like to do custom things because I feel awkward doing that. But if you offer me enough money, I probably will.
I would just interject though. I would post the trash videos that you didn't think were very good.
I know I should, because one of the videos that so the first time I filmed with someone else, where I let them film, well, not let them film, I don't care if someone else films, but they filmed it and edited it. I didn't really like how I looked in it, but it's by far my most popular video. I got fucked in the back of a truck by two rednecks with mullets, and people love it. I guess I couldn't have done it better. It's great. I just don't really like how I look in it, but whatever. Everyone else likes it. So yeah, I have had that where I've shown a video to someone else that I was like, should I post this? And they're like, yeah, that's totally hot. Post it. People will love it. And then those ones seem to be the ones that I get more likes on than the ones that I'm really proud of, that I really like, because the lighting was great. Or, I'm sucking dick in front of this window and there's like a rainbow that comes in, or, something weird like that. Nobody cares about that shit. Nobody cares. Apparently, I do.
No, there is not a single performer I have interviewed that has had a different experience. I mean, even
Yeah,
me, I have filmed videos before where I'm like, this thing is a pile of shit. I can't even charge for this in good conscience. This is like terrible. And like years later,
yeah,
I still get people that are like, oh my God, I found this video on Pornhub. That's what made me subscribe. It was so amazing. I'm like, that shit was terrible. That was like god awful. And then I'll make something amazing and
yeah.
they're like,
Right. Or there's like a scene where the dick sucking is really good, but then the guy couldn't stay hard or something like that. So there's no climactic end to it. But I could just post the cocksucking part, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. No, and I think also that like it goes back to like what you're saying about authenticity and people can connect to that because even if someone is
Hmm.
struggling to stay hard or straight, is struggling to come, people can watch that and be like, wow, I've had that same issue. It doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be Ryan Landers super hot sexy time where everything goes off without a hitch.
Yeah. There's actually Himros does a lot of that's Davey Wavy's studio. They do some stuff. He had a scene recently where nobody was even hard. It was just like soft guys making out, and like it was really hot. I think it was Jonah Wheeler and someone else. Um, but his stuff is more, it's studio quality with, the great lighting and great camera effects, but it's more like real life scenarios where it's not, 10 minutes of dick sucking and then three different angles of fucking and then the cum shot. It's however it happens.
Interesting.
So there's some things that are, porn doesn't always have to be hardcore in that regard to make it hot.
Okay. I like that.
I had a video that was like an hour long, and I just thought the making out part was really passionate and it translated well to film. So I kept that all in there.
Yeah.
It was probably like 25 minutes of making out, way more than anything else. But I thought it translated well, and you could tell that there was chemistry. So I kept it in there. People might not like that, but whatever.
I think they will. I think it will fucking absolutely eat it up. Just my humble opinion. So, well, I
Yeah.
really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I enjoyed talking to
Yes.
you.
Thanks for having me.
So,
I was nervous, but it was fine. That's the shy me that's afraid to talk to people.
yeah, no. So, Ryan, don't go anywhere. For those of you watching, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. And again, it is Ryan Landers XXX.com. And I won't ruin it. He's actually got a really funny home splash page. So check that out.
Oh, yeah.
You can find all my stuff below. And I hope you guys all have an amazing week.
Bye.
Hey guys, just wanted to say thank you for watching this video. And if you did really enjoy it, I just wanted to mention there are two ways that you can help to support this channel. On the right side, there are three little dots. If you click those, there is a super thanks button. And on the left-hand side, there is a join button where you can join this channel. There are three different tiers of memberships. The top tier does actually allow one-on-one messaging with me via Discord. And I personally answer that. It is not a service. That's just, both of those are ways that you can help support me as a content creator in this channel. I mention this because YouTube is by far the thing that I enjoy doing the most. It's the thing I'm most passionate about. And unfortunately, a lot of the sexual videos, the porn star confessions, the Dom sub, all that stuff, it is not monetized due to the nature of the videos. But either way, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I hope you guys all have an absolutely amazing week. I love you all.